होता है कि जो लोग इस टाइम पे अवेलेबल नहीं हो पाते हैं वो यूट्यूब पे कैचअप करते हैं, या यूट्यूब पे उनको जब ये टॉपिक मिलते हैं वो पढ़ते हैं, और उसके बाद में बहुत ही अच्छा लगता है जब वो वापस आते हैं और होता है कि प्रश्न हमारे हम आपस में डिस्कस करते हैं। तो चलिए, हरे कृष्ण। अरे वो मैंने अभी रियलाइज किया कि कैमरा ओपन नहीं था। हरे कृष्ण। आज यहाँ पे हमारे जो भक्ति वेदांत मैनर की हम पीछे एक बहुत अच्छी पिक्चर लगा के रखते हैं भगवान की डेटीज की, वो नहीं है, क्योंकि अगेन ये नया लैपटॉप है। हमारा जो नया लैपटॉप ऑफिस का है वो भी मिला नहीं है, और हमको नीचे से ऊपर भेज दिया गया है क्योंकि नीचे बच्चों के सेशन चल रहे हैं। तो प्रभु कृपा कि कंटिन्यू रहे हमारे सेशंस, और भक्ति भाव में हम लोग सभी बने रहे। आज ही हम बात कर रहे थे फर्स्ट वीकेंड क्रिसमस का, तो सभी लोग क्रिसमस की बात कर रहे हैं। जैसे कि अभी हम कार्तिक मंथ हमारा समाप्त हुआ, तो हम सभी कार्तिक की बात कर रहे थे, और अब दिसंबर के अंदर बुक मैराथन। तो जिस तरीके से मटीरियली हमारे पास हमेशा कोई ना कोई रीजन होते हैं, ऐसे ही स्पिरिचुअली भक्तों ने कोई ना कोई रीजन बना रखे हैं। हर मंथ के अंदर शिला प्रभुपाद जी ने कोई ना कोई फेस्टिवल सेलिब्रेट करने का रीजन दिया हुआ है। तो इस तरीके से हमारे लिए थोड़ा सा इजी हो जाता है भक्ति भाव में रहने। सर, हरे कृष्ण and हरे कृष्णा, धन्य प्रणाम माता जी, वेलकम, good to have you as well.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna, hope you are doing well, माता जी.
Yes, yes. Vedanta Pranam to yes. All okay here. Yeah.
Everything okay, माता जी? Yes, yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So
हरे
far, so good. Yes.
हरे बोल, शिला प्रभुपाद की।
Jay.
Let's quickly do Mangala Charan, and then we shall resume to our sessions, and then we will discuss what we have been discussing for last 3 weeks. This is the 4th week we are discussing karma and the reactions. So feel free to join me in Mangala Charan. I hope it's visible. Yeah. अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं
श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूप
साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथवितं सजीवम्
सजीवम्
अद्वैतं सवादूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितं। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता
राधा कान्त
नमोस्तुते। तप्त कंचन
गौरांगी
राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते
वेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने
नमस्ते
नमस्ते
सरस्वती देवे
सरस्वती
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
चैतन्य
प्रभु
प्रभु नित्य
नित्यानंद श्री
श्री अद्वैत
दातार श्रीवास भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा
कृष्ण
कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev Maharaj ki jai, jai jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much for joining in. So we have been doing how the karmas could be categorized. So we have taken a break, and hopefully next week we will resume back to Shri Ishopanishad. We did mantra 12, and it mentioned about impersonalism and the deity worship. And a lot of time for our own karmas, the material things we want, we start praying to deity worship. Praying to deities, Devi Devtas, is okay, but what's condemned in the Shastras is the material desires we have while praying it. However, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita that there are four kind of people who pray to me, who come to me to pray, and one of them are those who have material desires. So Krishna accepts that, but that's not the best way of worshipping, and that's what we are learning in mantra 12, 13, and 14. So that's why we thought it's a great time. We take a break for different types of karma. So very quickly, vikarma, negative. When we do bad things will happen. Karma, sakarma, which is when we do, for example, donating something in the temple, we do charity, we help someone, but we always we have the desires that something will good happen to me because I'm doing good. So we still have that either open or hidden agenda that let's do good things and the good things will happen. Like a lot of people do in Kartik, a lot of people in Vedic culture, it's a norm that during Vedic culture, during Kartik, we should donate a lot of things. We should do a charity, multifold benefits will happen. And a lot of people, they do it. Which of course Krishna accepts it, but this is not the best way of helping anyone. Best way of helping someone is that Krishna has helped us, and Krishna has given me something which I should share with others. It's like a responsibility, not that we would like something in return. And that's what we call a karma, nishkam karma yoga. When we do the good things, what we are supposed to do as a duty, as a responsibility, rather than as a favor, and we don't expect anything in return. And then we discuss Sanchit karma, Prarabdha karma, and Kriya Manani karma. And there is another one called Agami karma. So this is what we have done it even before last year. So Ajay, you were not there last few sessions because he was traveling. So you might remember, or at least some faint memories that we did do them before. Sanchit karma, something we have gathered, and let's take this. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Sorry, I didn't see.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes. When we have a thought, is it bears the same result as when we do a particular action? Suppose we think about something, but we don't implement it. It just stays. We don't do anything about it. But does it have the same? I know it goes into the agami karma. Yes. Does it have the same sequence or consequences as if you have done a karma, whether good or bad?
The process is same, but the effects, the impact is different. It's like, and I personally had asked this question many years back, and the analogy was given to me, which is a beautiful analogy, and maybe that's the reason I remember, that our karmas, we could do thoughts, we could do speech, and of course we could manually, physically actions, we could do it. So there are three ways we could do karma, which is like if we see somebody is beating someone. So what we should do, we should physically stop it. But let's say we can't. Maybe we are too far. Maybe the other person is strong. Other person is, we are in different country, and we can't intervene. So we can't, and maybe we are not physically strong enough. So we should verbally ask the person that please don't do that. What you're doing is wrong, right? If you could verbally. But let's say you have it's what's happening in the world across the globe. You can't really even say something. Of course, you can't do anything physically, but you can still in your heart, in your mind, in your thoughts, we can say what's happening is wrong. So all those three things, they count, but they are like when we draw a line on the sand, it will come, it will go. It's like our thoughts. It says we have millions of thoughts we come in a day in our mind, millions of thoughts. They are like the line we draw on sand. So it won't stay for long. Even if the water will not come, the air will come and air will take away that line. So our thoughts are actually like that. But then, well, even before that, actually, we could have the line on the water. If you see, even before that, if you say the line on the water, and let's consider that as the thoughts. So thoughts come and they go. Some thoughts, of course, they stay for longer based on what the reason is. But thoughts, they come, they go so many times. Sometimes we are doing Mangala Charan and it's so quick, so small, Mangala Charan. But during that, there are so many thoughts going on in the mind. They are like, those thoughts are like when we draw the line on the water. You're drawing it and it's going away. It will only stay while you're drawing it. It's going away once you have drawn. And then the second level is the speech level, which is when you have said something and it might stay with someone. And it might stay, you say, oh, I will do it. You have said it. You thought about it, but you have said it. I will, New Year coming, I will do some resolutions. And then that's what speech is, where you draw the line on the sand. But then the third level is when we do the action. We really turn up for the morning walk. We really turn up for the sessions, Bhagavad Gita sessions, and those are when because we've been there, we have done the impact, and that's where we draw the line on the stone. That might also go away, but it will take days, years, months to come. So yes, it's the same. The process is same, but the impact is different. It's very different. Yes. So thank you so much, Mataji, for
Thanks, Prabhuji. Yes.
Hare Krishna.
And other question was, Prabhuji, if I may ask you,
Please.
is that when we have any desire, I'm talking about, let's say initially we would say spiritual desire, that as you say, we all want to sort of like go back towards back to Godhead.
Yes.
But we also say in the end, if you so wish, if you so desire Krishna,
yes,
if we do the same thing for a material desire, that like suppose as we are getting older, our health issues and this, and we don't want to go down the extensive path of the test and this and that. We worry about it if something is going wrong.
yes.
But then we live to Krishna that I don't want to go to all that. Please, if you so wish, if you so desire, does that have? Is that a good thing to leave it for the Krishna to let him decide what is best for us?
Right. So it's what we leave onto Krishna is the result. The actions are always in our hands. So we will do everything to keep ourselves healthy. But you're right. Let's say, so currently I got some throat pain. So if I will pray to Krishna, Krishna, I got a session today, and please, if you could fix my throat so the session will go, because this is my service. So why I'm requesting that? So I will able to serve better, and that's acceptable. So it's the consciousness, it's the intentions behind it. Now, a lot of times we say, oh, well, one of the family member is sick. When we say, Krishna, please save the person. Uh, but what will happen if the person will stay longer? So we say, please save the person because we are working on the person. And maybe there are chances that in this life, the person will become Krishna conscious. Person will become liberated. Person will become more spiritual because the person has now understood the meaning of it. So please give him or her another chance. And maybe that's right, yes. But again, if it's just because the person is our family members and we would like to, due to sense gratification, we would like to enjoy husband, wife, or maybe the association of kids, then there's nothing spiritual in it. So it's what we are asking could be the words, but what's really true, why do we want that person to be, why we want Krishna to save that person? And but Krishna is there in our heart, whether we say it or not. Krishna would know. And Krishna will always do what's best for us. If the person is supposed to be saved, then Krishna will know. So this is just for our own purification that we ask for it, but we don't really need to ask. We don't need to advise Krishna that Krishna, if you do this, this will be better for that person. Because Krishna, oh, this will be better for me, Krishna, so please do it. Krishna knows it. So I know Guru Maharaj Ji and senior devotees, they always say that we could say this, but most of the time, I think the example was from Radha Govinda Maharaj Ji, and he was here in London. He used to speak. He was the spiritual master of Amrendra Prabhuji. So Amrendra Prabhuji is very famous, and Radha Govinda Prabhuji was his, and he was very famous, and very, very, very nice and polite devotee. And he was here in London. He speaks in Hindi. So he said, whose house is this? So he was invited in many different places. He said, whose house is this? So the person whose house was there, he was thinking, what shall I say? He said, Maharaji, it's Krishna's house. He said, so Maharaji said, what are you doing here then, if it's Krishna's house? And then the person thought, what shall I do? And then Maharaji said, if it's Krishna's house, give it to the temple. You go away, leave this house. And the person was just standing there. Person didn't know. He's just looking around to other people. He was also a devotee. He was a dedicated devotee, but he didn't know anything. Then what Maharaji said, and long story short, Maharaji was giving another example from the Shastras. But Maharaji said, this is just a lip movement, the speech we say that this is Krishna's, but do we really mean it? Do we really, really mean it when we say it's Krishna's? No, we don't. That's why he was saying, he said, if it is Krishna's, then if I ask you to give this to the temple in Krishna's service, will you do it? No, you will say, oh, my wife is there, my sister there, my family there. No, you wouldn't give it. And then he looked around everywhere in whoever was sitting there, and he said, is there anyone who would give the house to the temple? And nobody raised their hands. Nobody did. Amrendra Prabhuji narrated this in one of his lectures. And that's so true. So when most of the time we say, oh Krishna, as you desire, if you really, really check, then it's not spiritual. This is what my personal realization and understanding is. If I will ask it, then I don't think it's because there is no need to ask from Krishna. Krishna knows about it. But you're right, and Guru Maharaj has said it, that it's like Srila Prabhupada ji said it. Srila Prabhupada. So somebody said, Prabhupada ji, we want you to stay. Please don't leave me. Prabhupada ji said, well, see, first of all, I can't leave you. This body might go, but as an Atma, I will always live. But all the knowledge, the wisdom I wanted to give you is already, I have given you in the books. So as long as you are associated with my books, I will always be there with you. Physically, I might go, this body going to go some point anyways. So this is what we'll say, that he was living Bhagavatam. So there is a book Bhagavatam and there is a living Bhagavatam, the person Bhagavatam. And that's what Srila Prabhupada ji was. And after that, he said, so somebody said that, oh, well, Krishna can do everything. Because Prabhupada ji said, well, you can't save this body. This body is going to go. I'm an old man. If not today, tomorrow I will go. And somebody said oh no, Krishna can do everything. We will request Krishna. And then Prabhupada ji replied back that, well, you can ask Krishna. Krishna, if you desire so, if you want this body to serve even for longer, then you can do it. So this is how it all started. That Srila Prabhupada ji said it, but Srila Prabhupada ji didn't initiate from his own side. It was the devotees who loved Srila Prabhupada. And of course, at that time, if the devotees asking for one, devotees do. So my own Guru Maharaj, when he is sick, we always pray to Krishna. Krishna, Maharaj is suffering, please. But what Krishna would do, it's like what we are doing, the actions based on something the reactions are coming back, and Krishna is already so merciful. Then asking for anything in return is a bit selfish, and we all are selfish. I mean, I always think if Guru Maharaj Ji is there or Srila Prabhupada Ji was old enough, and old age is not a good age to stay. Like, how healthy, how old you could. The body is going to go away, and older we are getting, the troubles they are coming. I mean, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Even at 90, devotees say, no, we want our Guru Maharaj Ji to be there. But Guru Maharaj Ji, the 90 years body is full of pain. For our own selfish nature, we are keeping. Now, maybe that 90 years old guru cannot even give the summons, cannot give the discourse, cannot do pravachan, cannot share the knowledge, has already done it. Boy, 90 years, 80, 90 years, cannot even speak, cannot travel. But still devotees saying, no, we want you to be there. Is it spiritual? Or is it just because we want you to be there? So whether we want, so again, Srila Prabhupada's example, Srila Prabhupada said he used to send devotees all over the place because he wanted to expand. He could not travel. He said, you are my representative. So even London, before Bhaktivedanta Manor happened, Srila Prabhupada didn't come. Srila Prabhupada sent his own, I think, 4 people he sent here in London, go do something. And then they got, or they had the plan, and then Srila Prabhupada came later. So similarly, he sent people to Russia, to China, and devotees, they didn't want to leave Srila Prabhupada. But Srila Prabhupada said, do you want to be there? No, I want to stay with you. Oh, you want to stay with me, but I want you to go and serve me there in that country. So which preference do you have? Your own preference or my preference? And then the devotees, they understood and they traveled and they went away. So very good question, Mataji. But if we go more, if we purify our consciousness, our intentions, then it will become very, very, very clear to ourselves. We might not able to understand others, and we should never, because we don't know. We cannot criticize others because they are saying it. We don't know. Let's say they are pure devotees, because we don't want to do Vaishnava Aparadha. We don't want to say that, oh, that devotee is asking for that, so he must be. No, we consider all. Another anecdote with Srila Prabhupada, somebody said to Srila Prabhupada, so you have so many devotees in your organization and they're all globally dispersed. So how many pure devotees you have? Srila Prabhupada looked at the secretary and said, so how many devotees we have in the organization? And some number was given, let's say 100,000. And Srila Prabhupada said, 100,000 are pure devotees. And they said, wow, really? You consider everyone? Said, who has ever taken the name of Krishna and has given this? Then it is. So we, from our side, we consider everyone as pure devotees. But for our own self, we know ourselves better, that when we are praying to Krishna for anything, for our own health, are we asking for our health because it's really paining and I want to go on holiday, or because, oh Krishna, if you make me healthy, I will go on that yatra which I was supposed to go, but I've been postponing for years. So maybe one of those. So,
Thank
yes.
you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare
Thank you so
Krishna.
much. And Anil Prabhuji would like to say something. Prabhuji, please. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji. Um, I would just like to add my bit. Very synonymous to what Mataji asked. I think some time back, I also had this question as to if something is going wrong. The moment we realize something is going wrong with my body, should I be very much concerned about it? Especially if you are moving along the spiritual path, should you be very concerned and do something to improve the situation, or should you instead, go and just rely on Krishna to basically fix the situation? I had asked this question once myself, and what I was probably, I think the reply that I was quoted was that this body has been given to you by Krishna, and so whatever is being given by Krishna, it is your responsibility to maintain it properly and use it in the service of Krishna. So in that context, whether it be our body, or it might be any other material thing, for example a car or a house, so this has been given to Krishna because of some maybe pious deeds or something, and the correct way of using it is in the service of Krishna. um, uh, you know um, like holding kirtans in your house. If you're buying a house, you hold kirtans in your house, you invite devotees and things like that. That way you are using those material resources to serve back Krishna. So as far as our physical body is concerned, I mean, I was quoted once saying that you have to completely take care of your body. So if something goes wrong, you really have to make sure that you are fixing the situation by resorting to medical consultations and things like that. Now here again a very interesting question comes up as to where you should draw the line. I mean, if I think that was another set of question that was asked, if the medical treatment involves taking some medications that are extracted from animals, then what do you do? Should you should you still go and consume those medicines, because you know that they have been, there's some harm basically done to animals, and then you're consuming that medicine. So I think that is where I did not get a very clear answer. uh, so yeah, I mean, as far as the first point is concerned, uh, I think it's very important for us to take care of our material body. And I think I was myself diagnosed with type 2 diabetes about 2 years back. And then I said, I don't want to take the medicines, and I would rather want to change the lifestyle. So then that change in lifestyle, I'm trying to see, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I'm trying to see that change in lifestyle as means to you know um, utilize the take correct care of the body that Krishna has given me, because I'm responsible for it. So I see it that way. Maybe I don't know I'm right or wrong, but I'm completely sure that I'm doing it for my selfish means. I'm not 100% dedicating it to in Krishna's service. But yeah, that's what I have gathered from my previous experiences.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for sharing that. And indeed, I think that realization itself, that we are doing it for selfish reasons, I think that is the beginning. Because if we don't realize that we are going wrong, then we will never able to go right. So we follow the GPS. The very first thing to realize is that so we call GPS is Guru positioning system. The Guru has already given them marga. We should be Krishna consciousness. We should do these things. The very first thing to is to realize that we are not able to do it. Not that we don't want to do it. We want to do it, but we are not able to do it, and there are many reasons for it. And some could be circumstantial, that it's not in our control. So it happened with Guru Maharaj Ji, His Holiness Jayapataka Swamiji Guru Maharaj, that he was in Chennai, he was in the hospital, and he was in the hospital actually for a few days, like 3 4 days, and he was unconscious. The operation was going on and everything, and then he woke up around noon time, around 12 o'clock or just after that, and he got up. Everybody was saying things to him, and then he said that how long. So he was still he had an operation, right? So he was unconscious. So he just asked that how long I was there in the unconscious, and then they said that 3 or 4 days. And then he said, okay, 3 4 days, then what is this going in? There was a drip going. And they said that because you could not eat, so this is they're feeding you through this. They said if it's been going for 3 4 days, then stop it. Today must be Akadashi. And of course, devotees knew that it was an Ekadashi, and on Ekadashi we should not take it. We should not take grains. And even though it was for medical purposes, devotees said, Guru Maharaj, it's been going half a day is already gone, because Ekadashi started yesterday, or in the night, the whole night we drew, but since the morning it's been going on. So only rest of the half of the day is gone. And the reply was that when I was unconscious, I didn't know about it, right? The circumstances were unfavorable. Maybe to save me, you did something. I don't know what it was. So that's okay. It was not in my control. I was not aware of it. But now I'm aware of it. Asked doctor that if I could go away from this drip for half a day, I would like to be, please. So he didn't force it, but he put it through to the doctor, and doctor made the arrangement, and they stopped the drop, just because the drop had the grains material in it, because it was supposed to give the food, like what we say, the glucose. So what we learn from this is exactly what Prabhuji said, that if it's there in our hands, then we can control it. And some of the, like doctor said, take vitamin D and take omega-3 and give it to kids. Say, okay, well, a lot of time they have the fish. And then doctor said, you can't really do, you need it. I said, for how long do the kids need it? They said for at least for 3 months during winter time. I said, okay. I consulted the senior devotee and said, well, is there any... So I was actually asking for another friend of mine, uh, one of the Mataji who in Middle East actually. Even the sun is there, but because the sun is so hot, they don't go out. Mataji was down with the lack of vitamin D, and this has happened with other friends as well. But her vitamin D was so low, and something similar happened to another friend of mine who is here in UK with us. His vitamin B12 went down. In both of these cases, the friends, also Mataji in Middle East and my friend here, they both were hospitalized because vitamin D was low and vitamin B12 in one case was low. And they both are vegetarian. Doctor said you have to take this for next 3 days, and they did it because it was for medical purposes. It was a medicine anyways, it was a tablet. But then they did say that we are vegetarian. This is, you're here in the hospital. If you like to go back to your home, then you should take it. When you're at home, then I can give you the prescribed list of things during the course. But your vitamin B12 or D is so low that you fainted. And that's the reason you've been... so they went in A&E. And so obviously before they could revive, doctor had already started the process. So when the circumstances are not in favor, then we should. And another example comes from a movie where it's Life of Pi. In Life of Pi, the small kid, not small, maybe teenager, I guess, the kid was stuck in water, and he's a vegetarian, and he was stuck in water for I think 3 months, and he's starving now. He doesn't have anything to eat, and then he got hold of fish, and I must admit, I was in tears when the dialogue came. And the dialogue was, when the boy looked at it, a boy was a Hindu boy looked at the fish, and he was about to die because he was starving. He couldn't eat anything. And the fish just came. Fish, he wasn't catching fish. Fish, like, they were jumping here and there. It was a much big fish, and fish fell in his boat. And of course, fish without water will die. And that fish died. And when he held the fish in his hand, he said, oh, being a Hindu, he used to pray to Lord Vishnu. And then he said, so we have a Matsya avatar. So Lord Vishnu took the form of Matsya. Matsya is fish. So he said, "Oh Lord Vishnu, you came in the form of Matsya avatar to save your devotee." What he's going to do, he's going to eat the fish, but he's considering fish has been offered to him from his own Lord, to whom he has been praying for many years. And then he ate it, he survived. What happened when he was back on shore? He was vegetarian again, and he shared his story. I don't know if the story is real, but there's a book, Life of Pi, and of course there is a movie, Life of Pi. The movie is in English, but there is that boy becomes adult, and then adult is an Indian, because of course being the Hindu, is an Indian actor, unfortunately, who is not no more. So by a very good actor. So yes, I think all over the place, not only in Vedic culture, Sanatan Dharma, but in other religions as well, the exceptions are given when either you're old, when you are medically unfit, or when you are traveling. So, or of course, if you're women, then when you're pregnant, and which usually comes under medical. So then exceptions are there. So Ekadashi is one of those things. So if you're old enough, you can't control your bowel moments. So you got to have the solid food, because sometimes we just have the fruits, we have dry fruits, or we have liquid on Ekadashi because we don't want to eat anything. But if you're old, your stomach cannot have it, then the exceptions are given. And the similar thing if you're a child, so we always gradually develop the children, and usually they follow, but sometimes if they can't follow, then they have the exceptions. If you're medically unwell, like what Prabhuji said, or the examples of the friends, one Mataji there in the Middle East, another friend here, they had it again just for that period. And even that period, well, I will say, don't feel guilty for it, because it's there in the Shastras. The exceptions are there and it's accepted. And we can own it. Like, we don't have to hide from anyone. We didn't, like what Guru Maharaj said it. He didn't repent. He didn't feel sorry. He just said, when I was unconscious, it was out of my hand. And because of sheer love, you brought me, and to revive me, keep me alive, you did everything you could. So thank you so much. But now I'm conscious. Just ask doctor if I could be out of it. Not that I demand I want to be. I don't know. It's, so always Guru Maharaj said that I'm not a doctor, right? Ask doctor. Doctor will tell you about this. I won't able to. So it's very practical, the religion itself, the Vedic rules given. And we can, of course, the only thing is that we need to get in association of the either those devotees who read it, study it, or we study ourselves. We attend the sermons, and it becomes very, very, very clear. So thank you so much. Such a great discussion on this. So thank you for that. So very, very briefly, and Anil Prabhuji's hand is still on. So Prabhuji, would you like to add?
No, no, Prabhuji, my question is answered. Thank you, Prabhuji. It's answered so.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for that question, Prabhuji. Very good. So as we said, Sanchit Karma, the karmas we have gathered, and the results going to come back. Prarabdha Karma, the results are manifested, we have to bear it. Like Prabhuji said, type 2 diabetes. Based on previous karma, it could be the diet, it could be the hereditary thing, it could be sometimes circumstantial, like we are in oil and gas, sometimes like Ajay ji traveling. So maybe Ajay ji went somewhere where, sometimes we have to go to the oil rigs, and it's not safe there. And sometimes you work in chemical plant, it's not safe there. And because of that, people develop diseases. So it's not because of the health, it's not because of your family history, but it's because of the circumstances you've been. It's occupational hazard. So these, but we get it due to our own karma. That's for sure, whichever way it is. So sometimes parents are so kids, they blame parents saying that, oh, because you have this, that's the reason I got it. So for example, I wear glasses. So Aaron hasn't got glasses, but Aaron said, because you have glasses, there are high chances that I might get it as well. I said, yeah, possible. He said, but then I will blame you. I said, well, you can if you want, but it's you who is going to wear the glasses. And considering you haven't got it so far, you should take better care of yourself. And even if you will get it, it's not just because of me, because based on your karma, you got the birth in such a family where your father wear glasses. And yes, maybe because of that. And he thought about it for a while. He said, that makes sense. And I was surprised that did make sense to him. But of course, being kids, how long? They might come back and blame for other things like they do. And we all do. Now and then we all do. So but Prarabdha karma, we cannot, we should not. I mean, we can, but we should not. Prarabdha karma, anything happens in our life, Prabhupada always said that we don't shoot the postman. Postman is just delivering it. Kriya manani karma, they are in our hand. The kriya, the actions, we are doing it now. And that's where we can break the cycle. So this is a cycle. We sanchit karma becomes agami karma. They're going to come. They are coming. We can see they are coming, right? You can see some people, they are heavy and they say, no, I'm okay, no disease at all. But we can see diseases are coming. And that's so true, so true. And I know personally some good friends of mine, they have been drinking for that long, and it happened to some sooner, to others later. But I don't have any friend left now who said who will not accept that drinking is bad for health. Maybe this is the age you get into, by when the at least some part of the sanchit karma of that drinking becomes manifested as prarabdha karma, and then it's all clear. But when you're young, you can abuse your body and you don't realize, and you keep doing the agami karma, but you don't realize that, we don't realize that it becomes sanchit karma. So we should always realize that's where kriya manani karma, where we can control. And we have seen this as well. Birth, life activities we do, then we die, and then small portion of this life will be added to the previous lives sanchit karma bag. This bag will become more. Then a part of that, only a part of that will go and might give the non-human life, might give the human life. And then again, what happens? This is where we would like to break. We would like to do not even good. Of course, if we do bad, it's from rather than bad karma, it's better if we do good. But ideally, we want to do good karmas, but with not the hope that we will have good results back, because then we will be adding good results back to this, and the good results will give us good birth, and this life will continue. We don't want, so in the religion, four purusharthas, they, so we say dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma is for religion, we should follow the religious practices. Artha, we should gain money, but what we should do, we should spend in services. Desires, excuse me, excuse me. So we should, so dharma, artha, so anything dharmic we do, it's not that we will do good, like it's a that you will give 1 paisa, so Krishna will give you 100. Krishna will give 100, but we are not giving one, so we expecting 100 will come. We are giving one because Krishna has given us more than what we need, and we should share with others. Because if we get 100, we have to take birth again to enjoy the 100, and this will never end. This will continue. But dharma, artha, kama. So artha, the money we gain. should be in the service. Kama, the desires we have, we should transform material desires to spiritual desires. But then moksha, when there is no desire whatsoever, which means that we live the life whatever Krishna gives us. We don't even have spiritual desire. Now, of course, we say we should have spiritual desire, but it's only when our material desires have not ended. We will realize gradually material desires will transform into spiritual, and then the spiritual desires will disappear as well. Why? Because then we will just do it. Initially, we will say, oh, Krishna, give us the body, give us money, give us the intentions, so we will go and serve devotees. And then we will reach to the level when we just say that, thank you, Krishna, whatever you have given. If I can do the service, great. If I can't do the service, then it must be because of my own karma. And we're happy. It's not that we become lazy. We still, and actually, it's more and more, more and more. Because of course, if you think about it, all your responsibilities are there. Your volunteer work will increase. You will do more and more and more, become more active. But there's no desire at all. But Krishna, whatever you give, and so no material, no spiritual. But of course, it's a step forward. Material transform into spiritual. Then there is no desire, then there is no small delta, small bag added to the sanchit. Then what will happen? The sanchit is going to get smaller. We will get next birth, again in next birth. So in Bhagavatam, there are examples where a rishi came and rishi said to three people. To one person said that this is your last birth. To the next one, next is your last birth. And to the other one, that you have to take two more births. And then all three of you are going to get liberated, but you are not going to get liberated together. One of you this life, other one next life, the third one life after. So they ask, but we served you equally, you're happy equally, so why? They say, well, I can give you the blessings, but you have to complete your sanchit karma. And however, there are examples that where Krishna can burn the sanchit karmas as well, but that's very, very, very rare, and that's. But cases are there, especially in shastras. But if we will consider, if we like to go, then in this birth, if we pray to Krishna, Krishna might do it, but we should not ask for it. The only thing we should ask for is the service, that Krishna keep us in the association of devotees. So whether in this birth or the next birth or the birth after, whenever we come, we stay with devotees. And which means that our desires will go out, and gradually, sooner or later, now or 10 births later, we will go back to Godhead. We will realize the true nature of our self, and that's what self-realization is. And if we able to live that way, let's imagine if we are not in that consciousness. Somebody said that, what happens if by mistake somebody reaches to Goloka? It's about what that person will do there. Well, that's a good question. Let's say somebody who is not supposed to, who is not eligible, qualified, not supposed to meet, not qualified to meet the prime minister or the president. Let's say if that person will meet the prime minister and president, what that person will say, what kind of conversation will be, and will that person feel confident and comfortable in the association of the prime minister and president? Chances are no. If you think about it, if a villager is there, right? I'm not saying the villager is unqualified, but let's say if you put a villager, and the same thing, if you put a mathematician teacher in the field next to the villager, what kind of conversation they will have? So it's like we have to purify ourselves, and we have to kind of, in one sense, condition ourselves to be able to live with Krishna. If by mistake we reach there, then we might not like it there. It's like we can take somebody to the temple. How long the person will stay? How long before person will start feeling uncomfortable? And if you think about that, then we know that we don't really want to go to the Golok Dham too early. if we are not ready for it. Of course, if Krishna is happy, Guru Maharaj is happy to take us, yes. But then, of course, they say, do this. Why? Because that will purify us. Excuse me. Sorry. Because all these things will purify us. The chanting. Krishna doesn't need us to take Krishna's names. When we will take Krishna's name, we will get purified. Our consciousness will get purified. So thank you so much for everyone's association today. I look forward to see everyone next Saturday. So with that, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Gurudev Maharaj ki
Jai.
jai. Jai.
Jai.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Thanks.
Thank you so much for everyone's.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.